Good. The lights cooking up here. All right, y'all. I'd love to see those kids down there. What are those? Is there some what kind of Jordans are those, big dog? Gee. Bro. That's what I'm talking about. That was awesome. Let's give it up for the worship team, man. Incredibly strong to have that level of talent. It's as good as anywhere that you'll hear on a Sunday morning, and to have the heart behind it. And that is, what you don't want to do, and most of you are savvy enough to figure it out. It's a lot different between a paid professional and somebody who's called, and somebody who really cares. You'll feel it in the way they speak. You'll feel it in the way that they lead worship, and especially with anything and everything that as it relates to your spiritual health, your spiritual growth, your spiritual development. And that is why we have this night. My name is Trey Lewis, by the way. I work at Good Landing Recovery, and I've been here for about 8 years. It's been really cool to see it grow. We put together this event, and we call it Recovery Church, not because I'm a pastor, because I'm certainly not, but it is designed so that as you come out of active addiction, that you understand that you belong in a place like this. I know for so many of us that have lived the life that we have lived, and fast and crazy and wild and all that kind of stuff, that sometimes we feel like, church is for, I don't know, somebody not like us, right? And so what my thought was behind that is that you would start to understand that your community and that your people are here. And that also a lot of us come in and seeing all the ugly things in life and the hard stuff. I talked a little bit about it last week whenever, God doesn't do what we think that he ought to do. When we deal with family stuff and we deal with all the crazy things that we didn't ask for. We've seen friends overdose. We've seen just some of the ugliest side of life that, I think that somebody can be exposed to. And we've seen that. We've lived the hell of addiction. And, if you're anything like me, you didn't ask to be like this. I didn't grow up one day and wake up one day and decide, hey, I want to be an addict. I want to be an alcoholic. But it was a battle that was given to us. And, in some cases, it's the disadvantage, but I think in a lot of ways it's the great privilege that we do get to face it. Ultimately you're in a situation where your back is against the wall, and you either face this monster and go conquer it, or you die a premature death, or you go from institution to jail to whatever else. And so there ain't no getting around it. There's no negotiating with it. Either you're going to do the work, or when the lights come on, we'll figure out what happened and what choice that you made. And that's what tonight is all about, is an invitation to this process. It is an invitation to a new life, to a better life, to a more exciting life, to a life of fulfillment. It's certainly not perfect. You don't get any free passes. God ain't Santa Claus. He's actually better than Santa Claus, but you're not exempt from life on life's terms. And I can tell you that as somebody that has given my life to see people get free and set free from addiction, that, the enemy wants to take you out. But I will say that it's a great life. And even if an angel appeared to me tonight and told me I could, go back to drinking bourbon or whatever, I promise you I wouldn't do it. I swear to you I wouldn't do it. I love this life. I love it. I love everything about it. I love waking up without a hangover. I love all of it. It's a good life, and I couldn't imagine, trading it. And that's no shade on anybody that, I don't have I'm not like some anti-alcohol, whatever type person. But what I am trying to say to you for us, that if you're on the front end of this thing and you think that you've just been given a life sentence to boredom, you stick around long enough and figure out that it is a great life. Okay, it is a good life, but you're gonna have to unlearn what you think you know about life and the way that it should be, and learn a new way of life. And you're gonna feel like a pig on roller skates, just like whenever you get a new job or something like that. It's a skill set in a lot of ways that you'll have to develop. And anyway, I'll talk about all that stuff later. But I'm going to be cutting out of here just a little bit early tonight. So normally we do graduations at the end, and the majority of the graduations will be done at the end tonight. Do we have you got all this right here? Awesome, thanks. Do we have the coin and everything too? What's that? Oh, you got it? Sweet. Yes, sir. You are welcome. It is, man. I appreciate you saying that. All right. So, why do we celebrate the graduates? Exactly right. You finish where they start. Jeff probably hit something like this on the end, but it is really important that you understand why it is important that we celebrate people that cross this finish line. Because whenever you think about addiction, so many of us have not been showing up and we've been quitting. And this is one of the first things that we can do is to step across this finish line and to say, hey, I got a million reasons not to do it. I got a family. I got kids. I got to make money. There's a million reasons of why you could say that you're not here and why you don't belong here. But for those that have said, hey, quitting is not an option, I'm going to finish this, we'd like to acknowledge them on this stage and to be able to celebrate them. And tonight is really special to me because it's a friend of mine, and we've been in this battle for a minute. He really interesting. He is a professional athlete, so played D1 hockey at Vermont. He played 5 years of pro hockey, played for the Gladiators, and was, really just next level athlete in all areas. And also got some kids that are some really good athletes. Got Miss Layla down here in the front row that is an athlete and a dancing machine. I've seen it, witnessed it with my own eyes. We got a running back and a headhunter. We got my man Trip, Wrecking Ball, Young Claus over here on the front row, who I love to watch him play football and anything with contact. He can do it all, baseball, whatever. And his wife, Leslie, is here tonight, and just been a great friend to my family, and just an awesome family. But I want to celebrate Phil tonight and all that he's accomplished, fighting for his family, and has motivated so many people, in this. I mean, even me, he gets his thing, and next thing you know, he's thrown a couple of us in a group text, and I'm reading his stuff and watching his videos, and just the fire that he brings and the natural leadership that he brings is just next level. So hopefully y'all be seeing more of him around, but I wanted y'all to get to know him. And Phil, if you would come up, man, we want to celebrate you for this. Love you, brother. Here's this. And then here's this right here. All right. You want to say anything? You good? All right. He'll be telling his story up here soon enough. But, man, I appreciate you. And for all the graduates tonight, who else will graduate tonight? Just stand up real quick. I just want to look at you. If you graduate tonight, let me just see you real quick. All right. I know we'll celebrate y'all on the back end of this thing. It really is. It's just such a big deal, and I talk about a lot. I mean, I'm aware too. I tell you what, if you're brand new to this thing, you've never heard me speak. It's your first Friday night. If you'd stand up, I just want to see everybody that's new in this place. All right, good deal. Well, welcome to Good Landing. We are the largest single location drug and alcohol PHP IOP program in the United States of America, and we have a big community. Community is a huge part of what we do, and I think that's why we've grown at the rate that we've grown at. And God breathed on this thing. I will tell you that what you've signed up for is no easy task. And I'll tell you that Good Landing, and as much as I want to believe that it's the greatest program, in the world or whatever, it's not perfect. And I'll tell you that about 90% of the people that are in this room are very serious about their recovery, and about 10% probably are not. And you've got to make a decision right now on why you're here and what you're coming to do. Is that somebody's phone, for real? So what I will tell you is that for all the new people, you've got to make a decision right now. There's a lot of people in here. We go out of our way to not make this feel like a clinical environment, okay? You're going to see me in Jordan's 99.9% of the time. You are going to see our lead nurse practitioner in Dunk's and Jordan's 99.9% of the time. You're going to be in a warehouse. Like we literally have gone out of our way to not make this be a sterile clinical environment, but make no mistake where you are and what you are in, okay? This is not a bar, okay? This is not the social club for you to come and posture and talk about how awesome that you were back in 1998, okay? This is not, we don't care, how much dope that you sold and meth that you made, off the shake and bake recipe, back in the early 2000s. Awesome. We're so proud of you for doing that. You little chemist. All right. So it is a place to get well. All right. And what we have to realize is that we have a condition or a disorder or a disease that tells us that we don't have a disease. Okay, that is the issue that we always see, like say with the manic depressive or what would be called bipolar disorder today, is that, hey, take your medicine no matter what, no matter how you feel. I know you're feeling great today. This is not the time to go throw it in the trash can and go off on a 5-day manic run. Okay, we want you running the play day in and day out. Does that make sense? And so what you have to realize is that you have a disease that tells you that you don't have a disease. It is the weirdest thing, the fact that I have to bring you in here and to convince you never to drink or use drugs again. I mean, you should know that, dude. I mean, how many times have you touched a stinking stove? I mean, how many times have you burned your hand on the stove? I mean, we're not talking about like, all right, you went out and you drank too much one night and you got alcohol poisoning, you know what I'm saying? And you might think you should take it a chance again. Bro, I mean, the DUIs, the jail, the prison time, the broken relationship. I mean, literally, the fact that I have got to invite you. You should be up here like, dude, grabbing me by tell me how to do this. Good God, I can't live like this another day. But yet, we'll be sitting in here. I mean, we'll be sitting in a drug rehab. Like, you realize where we are right now? I mean, it looks like a church, but we ain't in church, okay? I just it is, and we'll be in the back of our mind of being like, I can definitely do it again. Like, I know if I do it this way, I mean, God, dude, if I can just make sure that I've always got, this other, I mean, I could probably do meth if I had some benzos. I feel like I could offset it if I just did it. I just didn't do it right last time. And if I can just tweak this one thing, and I shouldn't drink bourbon, I could probably just get away with beer and I'll be fine. It's the bourbon that how long you gonna play with this thing? It'll all get you to the same place. It'll all get you to the same place. And honestly, you need to be aware. I don't want it to ever drive shame in your life, right? But I have to remind myself too, I'm still susceptible. I mean, I'm over a decade clean of continual recovery, and I am still very susceptible to doing something so stupid. And so, just be aware of where you are, understand the environment that you're in, and the play that you need to run to make sure that you don't ever end up back here again. So Mike and I's dog. My kid's down here playing. No. So a few things that I want to hit tonight as we talk about culture is that I want you to be successful while you're here. Large treatment center, Okay, easy to get kind of lost, easy to fly underneath the radar. It's not like it's 10 of y'all that are in here and I'm going to be able to be in every detail of your life. I'm going to be able to look and figure out, hey, are you doing okay? I might see you once. I might not see you the entire time that you're here. We've got a lot of staff to watch you, to be able to help you, to be able to encourage you. But what I want to do is to set you up for success, okay? So culture is everything. I'm going to give you some framework real quick and we'll move through it, okay? God has a plan for your life, okay? That is a fact, okay? God has a plan for your life. You have a part to play in his story. That means that in his big overarching plan, right, that one day that he is going to defeat the devil and that that we will live in the millennial reign and that there's going to be all this awesome stuff and eventually one day you'll be in heaven and the devil will be no more. There's a bigger story, then there's your individual story inside of that big plan that he's going to do with your life and whatever that might be. And I'll tell you this, that it is your responsibility and yours alone to make sure that you play your part in his plan. Okay? Your responsibility and yours alone, okay? Now, here's what's so cool about that is that he has given us a vehicle to be able to protect us and to be able to facilitate us being able to stay in his plan and in his will. And that vehicle and that tool that he has given us is community. Okay? That is how that we stay together. There's strength in community. I know there's a bunch of Lone Rangers in here. I have a tendency to be like that. You offend me. I don't like you. I don't need you. You know, whatever it might be. I think we all probably have some of that in us. And that could be a good thing if you find yourself in the wrong community or you find yourself in the wrong relationship or you find yourself in a situation and you're saying, hey, finally enough is enough. I don't need to be there anymore. This is not my tribe. This is not my person. These are not my people. But in general, in community, even in the healthiest of community, there will be offense. Okay? So I don't know how many times that we have to watch Animal Planet to see who gets killed. Okay? It is the same story every single time. All right, you put it on there. The lion never goes to the strength of the herd. He never runs into the middle of the Cape Buffalo and kills the biggest alpha bull right in the middle. It is always the one that is wounded. It is always the one that gets stranded. It is always the one that gets lost and gets away from the strength of the herd. And every single time, that is the one that gets picked off. That is how it works every single time. And that is a visual of you understanding that, look, if the lion is hunting me, and I know that I'm safer right back there in between Bubba and Willie, then I am going to do everything that I can. I don't care if they didn't take a shower. I don't care. Look, you know what I'm saying? If I realize like that, I need Bubba and Willie. I need them right there. That is the middle seat on the airplane. I'm telling you, if that is what keeps me from getting killed by the lion, then I want to be there. Even if they didn't wear enough deodorant one day, even if they tell dumb jokes, even if they might rub me the wrong way a little bit, but if I know that my safety is back there between those two bulls, then that's where I need to be, okay? And so you got to look at community like this, and you got to see it in the same way, is that, look, offense is going to come, all right? It will come. It is going to be difficult at times. Look, man, I love the church. A lot of y'all had never been here before, and you start hearing all this stuff about church people and how they are. Dude, church people can be some of the nastiest, meanest, most judgmental, whatever that you've ever come into contact with, but that's also God's church. Okay? In all their imperfection, they are still the church, and they're still going to be imperfection, but you have to be understanding. Don't ever be fooled by this platform or this pulpit up here, okay? There are people up here, these pastors and stuff, they deserve honor. They are people, okay? They will let you down, but understand that if God has called them to be able to help you, to be able to call you out, to be able to call you higher. I met with my pastor this morning. I met with him this morning, with a pastor this morning, and I was talking with him about things in my life, and he is there to ask me hard questions and to call me higher, okay? I didn't like some of the questions he asked me today. I didn't like some of the things that he had to say necessarily today. But the reality is that I need him in my life. I need him to ask those questions. I want to make sure that I go to heaven, okay? I do not want to go to hell, all right? I've been to jail. I don't like jail. Hell is way worse than jail, okay? At some point, yeah, I'm pretty sure that it is worse, But I don't want to find out if it is or it isn't. But the reality is I don't want to go there. You know, some of y'all have obviously have done time, and you know that a human being is not meant to be locked up. It's not meant to be outside of God's presence. And honestly, that's a big part of my overarching vision, is to say, man, I don't want to end up in a bad spot. I don't want to end up wrecking my life. I don't want to end up, you know, in a situation where I am looking back someday and say, man, I have made decisions or I have done things that have destroyed or wrecked my life. I want to know that I did everything in my power that I could to live this life right and to be able to honor God. And to make sure that I do my mission and that I finish that. And there are going to be imperfections. There's going to be failures. There's going to be stupid mistakes that I've done pre-Jesus, post-Jesus. I mean, everything in between. You are going to find yourself that it's not going to be linear, but you are going to need those people and those voices in your life to be able to call you higher and to say, hey, I see you getting outside of the herd. I see you are getting offended. I'm seeing you that you think you misunderstood somebody, all that kind of stuff. And honestly, that's what happens. And whenever hard things happen in your life or you go through hard times, you are going to desperately need those people to be able to call you higher. Okay, so learn how to do that now. It's easy to go and find people. Look, I got this phone right here. Look, in this phone, I got dope dealers. I got knuckleheads. I got old friends who are some of the funniest people on the planet. And I got people who love God. I got people who are living right. I got people who, and everything in between. And whenever something's going sideways in my life, I got a choice of who I'm going to run it by. All right, if I want somebody to say, I got friends in my life right now that can say, hey, you need to set a match and burn the whole thing to the ground. You need to go back. You need to sell dope. If I wanted to hear, if I could literally call somebody right now and lay something out and they could give me the word, and they would have the best of intentions. Literally, they would think that they are doing me a favor. They'd be like, bro, I love you, dog. I love you. Come back here and we are going to, and they would lay out the craziest plan that you have ever heard that is imminent destruction in my life, and they would have the best of intent. Intention doesn't always equal impact. Okay? It does not. We can have the best of intentions and still lead somebody right off of a cliff. So I've got to choose wisely that in these moments, that when these things are getting sideways, that I am going to invite. And that's what you got to do. All you new people right now, I am telling you, you are getting ready. You will have a choice. Somebody's going to approach you while you are here that is not going to be about recovery. They're going to be toxic. They're going to complain. And you're going to know that if you attach to them, you're going to complain your way right out of this thing. And you're going to leave here sicker than the way that you came in. All right? There's some of y'all that are serious, that want your families back, that want your kids back, that want to be a dad, that want to be a mom again, that want to have a good life, a good career. You're tired of what all this stuff has brought to you, and you are saying, man, I am going to attach to the people that might not even have the personality that I like, but I'm going to attach to them because I know that they have truth, and they're going to pray, and it's going to be a big reset in my life. Look, man. That's it. That is how you are going to get clean. I mean, some of y'all are so set on being, the coolest person, posturing. You know how bad I hate posturing. I went on a rant on social media the other day. Okay, I got a lot of people love me, a lot of people hate me after this rant that I went on, and I mean, I just went off because I live in this community. All right. And I get around all these people that love pretending like they are richer and cooler than they really are. It is the wildest thing that I've ever seen in my life. It is like a bunch of kids out of high school that literally, right, they just want so badly to be the coolest and the richest, and they are debt leveraged up to their eyeballs to be able to drive a Yukon Denali. I mean, can't afford it. Probably got their mama to buy it. I don't even know what. I'm like, it's just crazy. It is crazy to me. And I'll watch this stuff, right? But in the same way, we can do it. You know what I'm saying? It is a level of humility, that is going to produce what we're really looking for. That is going to produce the friends that we really want. Dude, I don't want fake friends. Look, man, my rule of thumb is if you got like living outside your means, okay? I mean, look, dude, iPhone 16, great. You want one, but if you have an iPhone 16 and you drop that thing and it's going to set you back 6 months, you don't need an iPhone. You don't need it. If your kid breaks the iPhone 16 and you are this close to committing a homicide, you probably that's like living outside of your means. Okay? I'm just talking like basic things, man. I would rather be with my tribe to make sure that I have got, that I don't have to pretend or posture to make sure. And by the way, there ain't nothing wrong with a Yukon Denali, okay? Okay? Ain't nothing wrong with that or anything. I'm just talking about the pretending. That's all that I'm talking about. Does that make sense? But in the same way, you know what I'm saying, we can see it in stuff like that, but like, what does it look like in our world? Like, where are we pretending? Where are we trying to pretend that we're somebody that we're not? Where are we trying to pretend that we are, better off than we really are? And those are going to be the things that you're going to have to make an adjustment, because we've been lying our entire lives to be able to hide active addiction. And so now that we come into this environment, what you're going to have to do is learn how to love truth and love honesty. That means confessing whenever you don't feel like it, whenever you did something that's off, calling it what it is. Stop spinning stuff, stop changing things, stop, operating in half-truths. Call it what it is. That is the road to being able to get well. I want you to get well. That is the foundation of this entire thing. You've been operating in lies. We always want to move in the opposite way. So start operating in light and start loving the truth. Okay? So humility. I talked with my boy Whit earlier today. I was like, man, what does the program need right now? He said gratefulness, integrity, and humility. Okay? Look. This idea of gratefulness, I know it's one of these things that gets slung around a whole lot as far as, attitude of gratitude. I'm not like into the sayings and the cliches and all this regurgitating this stuff. But I'm telling you, learning how to be grateful will be one of the greatest weapons that you have if you can train this mind right here, okay? John Maxwell defines leadership as getting people to go uphill that have downhill tendencies, all right? I don't know anybody in the whole world that has worse downhill tendencies than we do, okay? It is not normal to have a relationship go sideways and a girl break up with you and you go put a needle in your arm, okay? That's weird, all right? That is not normal, all right? Okay, I just want you to know, that is not a normal, healthy response. That is one of the most downhill tendencies on planet Earth, all right? So understand that these downhill tendencies have got to be, it is not just, hey, stop being like this, all right? If that worked, then I would just bring y'all in here and be like, hey, guys, stop getting high. Stop drinking. Stop doing stupid stuff. All right, y'all got that? Don't be stupid, okay? Yes, got that? All right, bye. it doesn't work. It is, yes, stop being stupid, but then it is put on something different. So we have to put on something different. So if I'm going to stop being negative, stop being destructive, then what is the other thing that I will put on? And then that is going to be gratefulness. I'm going to learn how to be grateful. You should be the most grateful person. I shouldn't even have to sell this to you. You've cheated death. I mean, there's no telling how many overdoses have happened in this room. How many of y'all been brought back from death by Narcan more times. I mean, it is, you have cheated death so many times, it is insane. You should be the most grateful, thankful group of people that have ever lived. But the reality is that our mind is not trained that way, and we have got to be intentional. I've got to be intentional. I mean, the stuff that makes me so mad on a daily basis, as I've told y'all before, are answers to my prayers. You know what causes me the most stress? This treatment center. You know what I prayed for? This treatment center. I mean, all of it. You know who's going to stress me out tonight the most? It's this fight tonight. This knucklehead and this knucklehead right here. You know who I love more than anybody on planet Earth? Are these two knuckleheads right here. Okay? That is who is going to cause me all night to be mad and stressed out, are those two right there. And that's who I pray for. That is who I get the gift to be able to parent and do all those kind of things like that. And so I've got to just remind myself, man, I am living in the middle of answered prayers. God is giving you life back on a silver platter. I realize this is not what you would have set for your life, but you are in the middle of the greatest season of your life where everything can change right now if you allow it, and the entire trajectory of your life will change. That is where you are at right now. We're fighting for perspective. It is all about perspective, man. Get your mind around the season that you are in. Don't complain your way out of this gift. I get it, man. It stings a little bit. I need it to sting a little bit. I want it to sting a little bit. I want those vans to feel packed. You know what I'm saying? I want you to struggle a little bit. I mean, I don't want it to be so good that you actually want to come back here again, okay? If you need to come back here again, we'll always take you back here again. But I don't want you to want to come back here again. All right, this is it, man. One and done. Be done with this thing. This is not the plan for your life. If you learn how to run the play the first time, but you learn how to be humble, you learn how to be grateful. You know, and this idea of integrity, the way that we define it whenever I was in the Air Force, it's ultimately doing the right thing when nobody's looking. All right? And look, man, you ain't gonna get it right all the time. Was that where you were, the nuke base? Were you really? Cool, man. Appreciate your service. It's really a fascinating mission. There's 3 nuclear bases in the United States. So it is Malmstrom in Montana, it is Minot in North Dakota, and it is Cheyenne in Wyoming. And at one time, each base had 200 nukes assigned to it. So you'll be riding around like out in Nebraska and see like a little pole out in Nebraska, and there'll be a silo there with 2 officers that are sitting there waiting for the president to have the football, to turn his key, and they would give them the order, and like 2 21-year-olds down there would turn the order, and that's what would fire the nuke. And everyone, so each base would have 200 nukes, and on each nuke would have 3 warheads. So once it goes up, they're intercontinental ballistic missiles, so whenever they go up out of the atmosphere, then they have 3 warheads that can go 3 different places. So at any different times, we can launch 1,800 nuclear weapons to anywhere in the world. So I'm sure that date has changed a little bit, but that is the ace in the hole. So if you ever watch the rest of the world and they're out there fighting and shooting guns and, you know, IEDs and all this other crazy stuff, understand those nukes that are all sitting out there in the middle of those cornfields everywhere, that is the ace in the hole that keeps the rest of the world at bay. But anyway, thanks for that. Fascinating. But stay grateful, stay humble. Learn to love the truth. And, you know, finally, I'll just circle back to what I was talking about with community. The good, the bad, the ugly. Like, this is the community that God has given you to be able to heal in. All right? And you've got to use each other in the right way. Like, what does that mean? Like, whenever I'm grateful, I'm going to speak differently to somebody. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I joke around with my friends and stuff like that, and we go back and forth, but I don't joke like I used to back in the day. I mean, I'm not that rough where I'm tearing somebody down. I mean, I'm not so rough that I'm, got them leaving there, like, questioning. You have to realize people are in this very vulnerable spot. Like, speak life to each other. When you're in there, man, like, nobody wants to get made fun of constantly. If you find yourself doing that, I promise you, the person that's on the other side of it, they might laugh and they might whatever, but day in and day out, man, that beats somebody down. Don't do that to somebody. People don't like that. Okay? I can promise you, man. I mean, you have to understand, where you're at, what you're fighting for. If somebody's really encroaching on your sobriety and they're always talking about dope and they're always, there's a time to get strong and to shut that person down. Okay? But in general, we want to make sure that we're speaking life, that we're calling each other higher. I mean, look into the stuff that you're watching, look into the stuff that you're listening to, the stuff that you're talking about. All that stuff all becomes part of our culture. It all becomes part of how any successful team is going to be able to make it. Okay? Jeff and Stacy, y'all around? I'm getting ready to land this plane. Worship team, if you're over there right now, I'm going to go ahead and open this up. We're going to get out here early tonight. Look, y'all are getting ready to go into the weekend. I want it to be a good weekend for you. I want you to have a good time. Pool's still open at these apartments, or they shut them down yet? Hey, what? They're still open? Okay. All right, good. All right. Guys, leave them women alone. Don't be yelling at them out there. All right. I ain't asking anybody to turn gay or anything like that, but don't do that. All right. Just let them, give them a rest, dude. All right. Just, okay. So, yeah, I don't want any Good Landing Recovery babies with anybody. You wait till you graduate at least before you do that. But seriously, I want y'all are getting ready to go in, and we're getting ready to send y'all off into the weekend. This is our recovery send-off. Y'all are getting ready to go. Some of y'all are getting ready to go on past. Some of y'all are getting ready to go back into to real life, outside of this. And I want y'all to be prepared for it. Look, right now, you know what's coming. You know that if you've got to pass this weekend where there's going to be compromise, you're going to be in some really hard spot, you do not have to run this thing off the cliff. Like, don't let it restart again. Don't let it set you back again. Start getting momentum right now. It is the power of momentum. That's why we celebrate continuous clean time. There is something about momentum. It is the most powerful force in sports. It is the most powerful force in business. It is the most. So you want to try to create good momentum in your life. And the way you're going to do that is stop shooting yourself in the foot. I don't want unforced errors. I don't want turnovers. I don't want all these stupid things right here that are always setbacks that were preventable. There's going to be enough pressure that is going to come on you from the outside without you having to participate in it. Okay? So what you want to look at is you're saying, hey, if there are obvious things that I am getting ready to walk into that are going to be setbacks in my life, then you have the ability to be able to avoid that. So right now, man, make those decisions. Before you leave here, while you're in the atmosphere, while you feel inspired, while you know that there is more for your life, while you know that there is a better life and God has a plan for you, make that decision now, because when you leave here and you get out of this atmosphere and you find yourself back and the music's not the same music that we're listening to in here and all the other things like that, it becomes harder and harder and harder to pull the e-brake and to pull yourself out of that. Okay? So you all know right now what needs to happen. Okay? Look, altars are open. If you need to do business with God, we're going to leave these altars open as long as I'm running point at this thing. These altars are a special place for you to come up and pray. Doesn't have to be about anything specific. You need a touch from God. You need a reset in your life. You need God to break through. Powerful stuff happens at the altar. Powerful stuff happens at the altar, okay? I'm going to be with y'all on Monday at some point. There's some stuff I want to address just going on in the program and just different things that are, that are being said and stuff. And we want to make sure that we set the record straight on that. So I'll see y'all kind of offline on Monday. But I want you to know I love y'all. Y'all are worth fighting for. Your life is worth fighting for. God has an incredible plan for your life. I mean, a big plan for your life. Like, I cannot believe where I used to be, that I used to sit in these things and think that I was institutionalized to see the life that I'm living today. Even in the middle of the pressure and things not going my way, it is shocking to me to see what God can do with not a perfect life, but with a willing life. Okay? All right. Father, we love you. God, I thank you so much for today. I thank you that you sent your son, Jesus, God. I thank you for grace, God. I thank you, Lord, for just the wisdom and the clear path that you have laid out for us to walk out of the bondage of sin and addiction. So, Lord, I love these men, God. I love these women. I pray, God, that you would bless them, that you would keep them, God, that you would make your face, your countenance to shine upon them. In Jesus' name, we love you, Lord. Amen. All right, y'all be blessed.
Amen, amen. Thank you, Trey.